between our work. Some of us are in between other things. So don't worry, guys. This is going to be not going to be very long, and it's basically to give you an introduction to Azure AI Fundamental Program. When I talk about Azure AI Fundamental Program, what are we talking about? Well, basically, it's a certification program under Microsoft. This program is going to be for next 3 days, sponsored by MDEC, together with Aksara United. I'll guide you guys on the basic concepts and the components of Azure AI 900 fundamental. And at the same time, we also will be studying about the exam questions. The exam questions are important because at the end of the program, I want all of you all to get certified. So if you look at the Azure AI fundamental AI 900 exam, this is the first level exam in Microsoft artificial intelligence. Okay, guys, today everywhere you turn, every side you turn, there is something to do with artificial intelligence. Somebody is teaching artificial intelligence. Somebody is giving artificial intelligence. Okay, what kind of art? You go Facebook, you go LinkedIn. Somebody telling, hey, I can set up for you, automated marketing for your website, for your services, but mostly bukan betul lah. So you you got to understand that as well. See, what does Azure AI does, or what does artificial intelligence does, is basically it mimics ataupun it replicates yourself. So when I say it replicates yourself, what do I mean by replicate yourself? What do you do? See, all these while you had been doing probably things in your environment, in your work, things in your house. All right. So let's say if you are working in a data center, if you are working in an office environment, well, what you do? Uh, you see, many times what we do is a mundane task, meaning to say regular task lah. When I say regular tasks, these are what you basically do daily. Like for example, well, you handle your customers. So there's customers. Like for now, I'm running this MDEC Microsoft AI program. I have about 50 to 100 inquiries comes in, but not all of them can register and participate in this program. So I had to filter. I had to talk to one by one. This thing about that I'm talking to one by one, right? Is basically, I'm trying to find the people who are interested in participating in the program, who can benefit out of the skills AI. Can so more. All these things is what we are doing. The program is going to be in English. Don't worry, guys. I will talk in Malay from time to time. This is to ensure that we all do understand the program better. Okay, okay. Now, coming back to the question, okay, what happens is there is so many technology out there because these technologies are basically doing what? Mimicking what you and I are doing. So if you ask me, like for example, you are in the uh, call center environment. Obviously, there is people who are calling and asking about this is not working, that is not working. So what do you see here? Look at the skills measured. Well, of course, describe. You must understand artificial intelligence workload and consideration. We're going to look at a little bit of fundamentals, fundamental principles of machine learning on Azure, and then computer vision, natural language processing, and generative AI. See, when I say this, first, we're going to get understanding about artificial intelligence. So, talking about artificial intelligence, guys, AI out there, Google is a big artificial intelligence player. AWS also a big artificial intelligence player. Then you also have Azure, Microsoft, of course, one of the biggest players. And you go on, there are hundreds of software and apps and tools that's being created for AI. So what I mean by AI, okay, things like that's what you're gonna see. See, generally when you talk about AI, what that you want, what you do is what you want the machine to do. But what do I do? I do many things. Way, can you follow what I do? Very interesting. See, not about everything that. That's what they're trying to achieve. That's what they're trying to achieve. Eventually, AI will be able to do everything that you do. But don't worry about that. We are going to look at the gist, and also the key things on AI. Like for example, I give you a very straightforward lah. Today AI, what is AI? You open up your Google, your Lazada, your Shopee, you scan one object. Oh, you wanted to buy a phone. You don't know what is the model, or you want to buy an item in your house. You have a cup of glass. You have a let's say a tool, a stool, or you have a decoration item. But sometime, see, I say you have something. I didn't say I'm having um, a particular model, particular brand, color, specification, object. No, no, no. I'm just telling. See, I'm having. I don't know lah. So now this is the issue. We all know something, but it's just that I cannot tell you specifically what I wanted because I also don't know what I wanted. Okay, another scenario I gave you. If you are a student in forestry, I'm actually a forestry graduate. So when we were in university, among the things that we do, we had to go to forest, jungle, pergi masuk hutan. You kena kenal satu by satu pokok dengan tengok dia punya batang, dia punya daun, dia punya urat, dia punya buah, bunga, dia punya dahan. Can you imagine? Actually, no, 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 no. See, that one all was later part. First, what they taught us is basically to recognize scientific name of a particular plant just by looking at the leaf. Tengok daun, I can identify their species apa. The problem is, we will be given like about 200 leaf, 200 leaf. And these are leaf yang daripada different pokok. So you have to pick up each of them, identify them by their scientific name, by their specification. Mak oi, matilah saya. Dah lah I budak KL, budak bandar. You ask me to tengok pokok, ini pun baru I first time tengok. Now you want me to memorize all the different leaf. After 25 years, now technology is here. My fellow friends no need to go and, memorize all these various plants and trees. Why? They're already in the computer. So what do? Take your phone. Take a photo of the leaf. Today, every one of us are having AI in our handphone, but it's just how are you using it. So like that is what AI we are going to look at. But of course, in this program, to help you to get through the exam, I will teach you about the questions along the way, and I also will teach you about the fundamentals along the way. So I hope you understand how does this program is going to be run. Okay, so basically, for your information, artificial intelligence means what? We are simply trying to teach the computer to think like a human being. To think like a human being. Okay, why do we need to have the computer to think like us? Well, basically, that is where AI comes into play. Even today, you look at working environment. In many environment, compare what a human being do and compare what a computer can do. So that's what we're going to see. In our lesson, we're going to look at introduction to artificial intelligence. So I'm going to take you in a little for now. I'll share with you all these videos in a while. For now, let's just, look at the module. What we're going to look at is basically on Azure AI. So what is artificial intelligence? It's basically a software that imitates human capability. That is what artificial intelligence is all about. So when I talk about imitate human capability, benda apa yang human do that computer all this while didn't do properly, if you ask me. Multitasking computer is already doing. So workloads and other considerations computers can do. We just have to program it so they do not do, in a reverse format ataupun in a damaging format. Machine learning on Azure, that is the fundamental data science. So when I talk about machine learning module, this is where first How do they teach computer to become human-like? How do they achieve this artificial? See, all these while intelligence that we had been having is not artificial. Okay, apa in kecerdasan. We call this actually what? Kecerdasan ataupun intelligence. Ability for computer to think like a human being. All this while, what the computer had was not artificial intelligence, guys. It is a mere um, option of outputting for every query that we put in. So like basically you piggy Google, you search, I want to search about cloud. Then Google search about all the cloud and give it to you. But is what Google is giving to you is relevant? That is the question. Not all the time lah. Google ke, Bing ke, Microsoft ke, Apple ke, anywhere you see, we always have a limitation because why the systems, they tend to interpret, okay, they tend to interpret things on their own language. So now is the time where we want the computer think like human being, not just, uh, perform the task that a human does. Like, okay, all this while you look at what a computer can do in Microsoft Excel, what a computer can do in Word, PowerPoint, what a computer can do in your program. Wow, wow, you had been wowed. But today, the computer can turn back to you and say, wow. So computers all the while never talk to us like a human being. They are just dumb devices. But here in this case, no. The computer is going to talk to you like a human being. What do I mean by this? So we have to make sure the computer, first of all, learn everybody or majority lah. I wouldn't say everybody. Learn lah hmm, as many things about intelligence as possible. So that is done under machine learning. That's why machine learning, data scientist, data engineer, you hear the science, the terms, apa lagi? Deep learning, machine learning, deep learning. Then you akan dengar terminology, algorithm, supervised learning, unsupervised learning. See, all these are the scientific components which you supposed to learn if you want to learn about creating your own chat GPT. No, we're not going to create our own chat GPT, so don't worry about that. Basically, what we wanted to do is we are trying to understand what is artificial intelligence is all about. Artificial intelligence is nothing more than a software that imitates a human capability. I hope that makes sense to you. So when I talk about human capability, this is the most important. Predicting outcomes, recognizing patterns based on historic data. See, what does a human can do that a computer cannot do? This thing, prediction. Okay, when I say the word prediction, there is another word, you must be careful. Prediction dengan macam you boleh, prediction ni macam you predict ataupun you anggar, you buat anggaran. But anggaran yang kita buat ni, prediction anggaran yang kita buat ni kan, is normally based on what? Based on obviously kita punya experience. Kita pernah travel from KL to Penang. You know how long does it takes? If there is no jam, you probably can reach Penang in about non-stop journey 3.5 hours. Now you tekan laju-laju, you know you can reach within 2.5 hours. You pergi pelan-pelan, it might take you 4, 5, 6 hours. Jam, Chinese New Year, jam, Hari Raya, habislah 8 jam. Now you know this. So if I ask you a question, hey, tomorrow I nak pergi Penang lah, boleh ke? You know, Saturday how is the traffic? As a human being, you boleh bagi tahu, kalau esok nak keluar, you elok keluar awal-awal. Sebelah tengah hari nanti jam dekat highway tau, selalu. Macam mana you tahu? Tengoklah traffic control system by PDRM. By Plus. Oh, so basically, how remember during Raya time, especially government also pernah keluar advice, okay, those yang nak pergi, let's say, Perlis Kedah, okay, you all keluar awal dulu. Sebelum pukul 9 pagi kena keluar. 9 sampai pukul 4 petang, okay, then those who are dekat-dekat keluar. Like dari sini pergi Ipoh, dari sini pergi Melaka. Like they have a timing. Why did they have that timing? Because basically by looking at the traffic pattern, kita tahu we can predict an outcome. Predicting outcome means, this is very important, artificial intelligence has to predict outcome, not fortune tell. Don't tell, oh, suddenly tomorrow you'll be a billionaire. No, 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 no. How am I going to become one? You must tell me step by step. So the prediction feature is very important. What can you predict? You can predict outcome. What will happen? How? Because you have data. Because you are the historic data. And because you boleh recognize pattern dalam you punya data. So you have a lot of data. Sama lah macam you ada, katakan you orang ada kedai runcit ke, you ada supermarket, you work in a supermarket. During festival, hari raya, during hujung bulan, gaji dah masuk, that's where you punya sales increase kan. That is your pattern. So this pattern, biasanya dia akan repeat. So what does a data scientist akan buat? They will create a formula to evaluate how many percentage predict you akan dapat result yang A or result yang B. So this is what artificial intelligence. You boleh predict. Number two, you boleh recognize any abnormal events and making decisions. Biasalah. Because you can see data and you can recognize pattern, that means you juga boleh, bukan saja yang good pattern. Recognize pattern means good pattern. Yalah, hari raya, customer ramai, order banyak, sales tinggi. Cuti sekolah, jam. Tetapi customer ramai, sales tinggi. Tapi Saturday, Sunday, Malaysia, you buat kalau online marketing, sorry lah. Everybody kebanyakannya dekat shopping mall. So you hantar you punya post dekat you punya Facebook, LinkedIn. They may not read. Because dia tengah dekat shopping mall mah. Bawa anak, bawa bini, bawa keluarga. They are already handful stuck in the jam. Who's going to look at your messages? So recognizing abnormal event and making decisions based on that is also artificial intelligence. Make your life easy. Number three, interpreting visual. Ini important. Bila I tengok satu benda, I don't know what it is all about. So I nak, more detail. So what I do, I use visual observation. Like today, if you look at any of your Shopee, Lazada, you boleh ambil gambar and upload. That's what visual input is all about. Visual input. All these while, sayang, computer tak faham. Why? Because computers are not as smart as human being. They faham lah, bukan tak faham, but not to the extent of AI. Today, moving forward, AI, visual input must be more versatile and powerful. So we're going to look at that part. And then understanding language and inilah everyone is doing today. Understanding language and engaging in conversation ataupun natural language processing ataupun conversational AI. Okay, what is this is all about? Again, another capability of artificial intelligence. Again, I repeat, what is that the computer couldn't do all these while that a human being can do? Number one, a computer couldn't cannot listen. What I mean by cannot listen, I mean, you must have some input device, mic, speaker. You must have some component to listen ataupun to input sound. Lepas tu you kena guna sound. Tapi apa bunyi yang you dengar tu, you won't know. Is it a music? Is it a content? Adakah benda tu ada any benefits? Nobody knows. So that's where artificial intelligence comes in. Why? Number one, you see, it can see, recognizing any pattern in your data. Okay lah, when I say data, that is where the major problem, guys, because bukan semua data is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Some data is just colors. Some data is just wave. Some are just sound. Some are just emotions. So now the artificial intelligence has to learn more. And when he learns more, he's not just learning data. You also learn based on the image that has been given, the sound that has been given. Then after all these things is given, now the computer learn. He can think and talk to you like a human. Conversational AI. So this is what we're going to look at basically in this program. Machine learning, anomaly detection, computer vision, natural language processing, knowledge mining. So if at all kamu nak tahu what is AI, what are we going to learn? This is what you're going to learn. Unfortunately, out there ada banyak certification that teaches you on artificial intelligence. You can get Google AI certification. You can get AWS AI now. Baru-baru ni, NVIDIA also released their own AI. So that means now is the time. Go and take as many AI certificates as you want. But always somebody authority will be helpful. Microsoft is an authority. So in Microsoft, we have this AI 900. Also AI fundamental program. Don't worry, we are not trying to make you into data scientists or data engineers, but we are actually trying to help you to use AI. So that means data scientist, data engineer, apa they buat, you must know. They have done this. They have done machine learning work. What is this machine learning? This is a program. This is an option. It's a thing that they do to predict any output data and come up with the idea. Machine learning means what? They come up with the idea. Of course, how do they come up with this idea? Based on the data that has been given to them. You can also see in artificial intelligence, kita ada anomaly detection. Ini kan yang unusual pattern. Biasalah, this is the reason why kita nak AI to help. Today, you go to clinic, you go to hospital, you see got hundreds of patients. By the way, which patient do the hospital nurse and the attendant must pay attention to? First come, first serve, isn't it? It's salah concept. Mana you boleh first come, first serve when it comes to patient who is not well? You figure. Are we supposed to first come, first serve ataupun the most critical to be attended first? The most critical. Because kita tak nak people simply queuing up. For what? Oh, I sakit. Apa sakit? Tak tahu lah. I rasa mungkin I sakit, mungkin tak. Wasting time. The doctor's time. So what we are doing is anomaly detection. But this anomaly detection is, can work either way lah, for your benefit and also for your identifying something which is not normal. Similar, computer vision. Ini another method. Anomaly detection, you need to have the data first. Computer vision also data. But the difference is computer vision is based on the image, video. Anomaly detection can be anything. Dia boleh detect based on video, image, sound, data, text, because he basically going to monitor the workload, see if it is something new. That is what it means. So again, I repeat, machine learning is where you do all the programming, guys. This entire program going to make us look like we are going to learn machine learning. No, we are not. Listen, we are only going to understand what they have done in the machine learning. Our work is all in the below. Anomaly detection, computer vision, NLP, natural language processing, and knowledge mining. Now, what do I mean by this? See, these are the things what you want the computer to do. If I say natural language processing, it's an application that can interpret written or spoken languages and engage in dialogue with the human user. Can you understand that? What does this mean? Wow. Basically, what they are telling is the computer is going to talk back to us like a human being. Chat GPT. Today you see everywhere Chat GPT, Chat GPT. And what does Chat GPT everywhere is doing? It's all basically doing only one thing, which is making you to feel like as though you are talking to a computer. No, you're talking to a human being. So today, when I look at the technology behind artificial intelligence, you can do wonders. What can I do? You can make a computer program to behave like your manager, your staff, your employee, your business. See, many things that the AI can do for you. Hey, sir, can AI steal for me? Can AI rob for me? Can AI kill for me? Can AI do nasty things? Hey, it's a computer. Mesti boleh buat lah. So now is the problem. Uh-oh. No doubt I'm telling mesti boleh buat. But that also means it's very dangerous. Now, using AI, I can create damage to the whole world. Oh, very dangerous. That's why the first thing we teach you before we teach you AI is the principles of responsible AI. What is this responsible AI? Faham, this one very important. This one teaches you what you must do. Number one, your application yang you buat dalam artificial intelligence mestilah fair. When I say fair, janganlah bias. That means you shouldn't do any app. Like for example, you nak bagi loan kepada customer, you nak bagi things, for somebody. You don't want to make a system of AI which is biased. Okay, katakan dia nak bagi kepada semua kaum kerabat you saja. Semua you punya family members sahaja. Semua you punya adik-beradik sahaja. That is not correct. But of course, AI can do that, Now, that's what we want to avoid, lah, the fairness issue. Number two, reliability and safety. This one also another important thing. Today, you look at artificial intelligence. Another component of artificial intelligence, autonomous driving cars. Ada banyak kereta yang boleh drive sendiri, right? But you don't want them to make any error, guys. Because autonomous vehicle system failure means what? Danger, accident, somebody dying. So your whatever software technology you do, it also must be reliable and safe. Okay, that one you understand. Fairness, that means jangan pilih kasih. Reliable and safety, jangan buat software yang boleh bunuh orang atau boleh bagi susah kepada orang. Privacy and security, jangan curi data orang. That means you must understand having a software like now is also I have enabled a lot of AI features in my website, in my Facebook sites, in many of my social media sites. So the moment you connect to my website, connect to my sites, there are another option for you to daftar lah, register. You can just click register, daftar. You'll get a ticket, you'll get the invitation, you'll get an email. I am not doing, the system is doing. So that must be reliable, safe. It also must respect the privacy of my client data who is coming in. It must be secure. Janganlah buta-buta people bagi information nanti everything get exposed. So the third principles of AI, privacy and security. What is this is all about? Respecting user data. Okay, next three more principle. Inclusiveness. What is this inclusiveness is all about? Remember, whenever you do a software, the software usually you do based on your understanding. So how much you know about software, how much you know about a particular component is what you gonna do? Actually, now that AI is available, whenever we do any application development, we must make sure do what? The solution should be something that uh, allows for more everyone to participate. Walaupun you only develop, let's say, your software for only one category of people. Maybe you are developing a software to recognize, macam I pergi tahu tadi, recognize daun, tengok gambar. But then along the way, let's assume lah in the future pula ada ramai yang berminat dengan subjek ini. And there are a lot of orang yang kurang upaya, contohnya tak ada mata. They cannot see. Visually buta kan. Now if you go and tell them to use your software, mana boleh? It won't work. So in that scenario, you should make sure you develop software ini kan. Software ini biarlah boleh juga work for those people who have visually impaired vision. Ataupun solution to include everybody. You must have an app that actually not just look at one group of people, but everyone. AI means another word is for everyone. So you want everyone to benefit. Your software must do that. You are now capable of doing that. Come out of your cocoon that I will only teach my own family. I will only teach my own brothers and sisters, or my own race, my own religion. Itu semua zaman dulu lah. Now, when you look at the social media, the whole 7, 8 billion population is our customer. So you don't want to differentiate everybody, but you want to give everybody an option. That is inclusiveness. Of course, that's also about transparency. That's also about accountability. Jangan buat software lari, sudah curi. Nanti you kena jawab, you kena tanggung. So you got to understand this is what principles of responsible AI is all about. See, all these while, whenever they come up with technology, they just produce the thing and then they sell. Last couple of years, we all had vaccine. You don't put vaccine, we cannot go to work. Government tell to put vaccine, go to office, manager tell to put vaccine. Go everywhere, put vaccine, otherwise we won't let you. Some people are very adamant, don't want to put vaccine, fine. They are not going to go and work elsewhere. I had to go to factory by factory, office by office, whenever I have class, whenever I have event, whenever I need to do support. Now, in that case, I got no choice. I have to take the vaccine. But 3-4 years now later, recently, right? They did they now they're telling the vaccine got side effect. Now you tell. That time you tell I don't put, you cannot work. Now you are telling me, right? But that's, don't worry lah. It's also part of accountability. So when you do any technology software, remember this fairness. The challenge is what? Bias can affect your results. So you don't want that. Contohnya, a loan approval model which discriminate. Dia nak bagi loan kepada, you see, generally between men and women, men get more loan. It's a kind of a gender bias. You know what they tell? No, women always cannot work full time all because they have to take care of the family, children. Men is the breadwinner. Today, a lot of women are entrepreneurs. They are getting loans, but they still having problem. So we don't want the same issue happen in our responsible AI. Fairness, reliable and safety. Error may cause up. Macam kereta yang boleh langgar. That's why until now kita tak ada lagi kereta boleh jalan sendiri. They have done this in some country, but we also watch from internet, social media, the danger. Wah, kereta sped off. Dia pergi laju, pergi langgar orang sendiri. We don't want that kind of error. Number 3, privacy, data could be exposed. Contohnya medical diagnostics. We don't want our data about medical to be exposed to the outside world also. The one also you want to take care. Another challenge, like solution may not work for everyone. Remember I told you this. User must trust a complex system. Transparency. So again, a system developer must tell me what are you going to use my data with. Accountability, who's liable for AI driven decisions. You see, AI decisions is what made a lot of us became a victim. Until now, many of these are like that. Contohnya, you pergi subscribe any particular software, tapi kan after 2-3 hari you terlupa. You tengok dia sudah potong duit dalam touch and go, dalam bank account. That is a problem. Big problem that we have to address. Yeah, but that one a bit susah I nak bagi tahu. That's why we are trying to solve. But you know what? When we teach you principles of responsible AI, remember, nobody is responsible out there. That's why we teach you be responsible when you use artificial intelligence. Understand the word? The current out there yang pakai AI, are they using it responsibly? We don't know. We can just tell. Yeah. Everybody is using it responsibly. So when you gonna use these AI for your day-to-day activity, that's what we are trying to instill here to make sure that you will use it safely lah. Okay, the first module we introduced to you what is artificial intelligence. Remember machine learning combined with deep learning. They call this deep learning, machine learning, artificial intelligence is basically combine this with vision, computer vision, natural language processing, and conversational AI. Tiga benda ni kita combine, we get artificial intelligence. So anybody who is giving you artificial intelligence solution must have this vision, conversational AI into building into their system. So if I look at my Microsoft Azure, Microsoft did what? They came out with a new studio platform just for you to use for artificial intelligence ataupun for machine learning. You see here, what they did is they made it to become like your own private cloud environment. You are your own computer, your own services, your own data storage. Now, if you get this subscription from Microsoft, then you can do what? You can do your own artificial intelligence, machine learning, deep learning, everything on your own lah. Free. You mahal ke cikgu, murah je, ada free trial. You don't have to even buy paid one. You can still use it with the free one. But I don't know how to use this lah, sir. Biasalah. That's what we're going to look at. So Microsoft give you this thing, the resource ataupun the entire semua yang diperlukan untuk you create your own software. But we're not going to create software, guys. We're going to see how people use this for their day-to-day operation. This is Azure infrastructure. When I talk about Azure infrastructure, basically this is the cloud. But today we're going to talk about Azure AI. When I tell you about Azure AI, where are we going to go? We're going to go to another platform. So before we go into the Azure AI platform, where does this came from? Semua datang daripada basics, Azure Basics. What is Azure Basics? So let's look at Azure Basics, guys. Azure Basic is basically your virtual machine, virtual network, storage account. Remember Azure portal? You have all your data storage, compute services, applications, serverless. You got today so many components. That is the infrastructure where AI, Microsoft AI is running. So you now first must get introduced to the fundamentals of Azure. What is fundamental of Azure? Ataupun, what is the basics lah? Di mana artificial intelligence is running? There you go. It's running in Microsoft Azure. So if I come to Microsoft Azure like this, what I get to see is standard lah. Standard selalu nampak ni. Create a resource. So when I say create resource, resource mana yang selalu kita create? Ini ni, virtual machine. Yang tengah-tengah ni. Biasalah. Yang lain-lain tu one by one will come. But today we are looking at artificial intelligence, anomaly detectors. Not only on anomaly detectors, ada lagi banyak. So here kita ada komponen-komponen standard yang membolehkan Azure ataupun any software to work. So you can see here, you need to have all these. Storage account, subscription, resource group. If you want to know how to use this, you can also go and learn all these things on Microsoft website. So we're going to learn all these things along. We're going to look at all these things along in the group, in the session. So other than that, belum. Ini common things that you see. If I look at the left-hand side, you see, Azure is basically an entire virtualized environment onto the cloud environment. So kita ada load balancer. Kita ada app services. Kita ada function apps. SQL databases. Cosmos database. Ada lagi. Azure Active Directory. You scroll down lagi bawah. Kita akan nampak storage account. Kita akan nampak virtual machine. You can move it, You can also add more from dia punya database. You see, dia ada mobile category, storage category services. Storage dia ada berapa banyak tengok? Banyak. So it's, which one you want to use entirely up to you. Now we're going to look at, like, for example, virtual machine. You can also just, instead of clicking the icon, boleh search macam ni, boleh juga. You can choose content daripada website. You can learn the documentation, how to create virtual machine. So basically, the moment you log on to Microsoft Azure portal, banyaklah dia bagi dekat sini, which you can use. PowerShell pun you boleh run dekat Azure portal ini. So you can do a command line. Graphical is what we are doing now. But you also can do in command line using PowerShell. You can enable notification for yourself. See, this is actually how you manage the Azure portal. So what we're going to do next is tolong subscribe, like, and share. I'm going to share with you my link on these videos later. Tolong subscribe, like, and share so we can see this. Yeah. Okay. So wait a minute. So now what we're going to see is we have looked at the Azure services. Now we're going to look at AI services, artificial intelligence services that is available in Microsoft Azure. So just now what we saw? What we saw is the Azure services yang gives you the compute, the storage, and then the applications. But now we are looking at particularly AI services in Microsoft Azure, Azure machine learning, cognitive service, both service, cognitive search. So what is this? Machine learning. Okay, this is the entire studio platform where you do all these services. This is the platform where you train, you deploy, and you manage your machine learning models. And inside of your model, what you're going to manage? You're going to manage probably vision, speech, language. You might be coming up with a decision-making suite. Now, this thing is what is thinking like human being, cognitive, neuro-linguistic. You can also call this as like how a computer thinks, cognitive. Or a bot, a chatbot, a conversational bot. See, first, the computer must be able to think and behave like a human being. For that, we use cognitive services. Once the computer can think, now we can make the computer to talk. That's the both services. This both services allows me to do what? To allows me basically to create a chatbot. Inilah banyak you tengok dekat Facebook, LinkedIn, everywhere people are selling now. Next one is Azure Cognitive Search. This one is like Google Search, Azure Search. You want to search everything that you have in your environment. Like for example, today, if you enable smart home in your house, then you can just go home and, hey Google, turn on the lights. But the Google will be thinking, which lights do you want me to turn on? Then you might have created hall lights, room lights, posh lights, something like that. Then if you tell, I want you to turn on the hall lights, then the smart home will only turn on the lights in the hall. How is this possible? Basically, the Google Home does performed a cognitive search onto your previously assigned values. From there is where they come up with the results. So that is how these three things are going to be very, very important for us. So basically, when I talk just now, you already looked at that. Cognitive service means what? Ability for a application to think like a human being. How can a computer think like a human being? They cannot think like human being. If you want them to think and answer like a human being, you must have an API key, a REST endpoint key, an authentication key. Ni yang ChatGPT you kena ada account. Kalau you use any third party cognitive services tools, chatbots, you see semua akan minta API. Microsoft different lah because Microsoft ada dalam dia. AWS, it is built in. So if it is built in, then you can just use it from those locations. Sorry, guys. Okay, so that's cognitive services. Next, when I look at this cognitive services, let's go into the platform a bit. I want you to see how you're gonna do this. Okay, so what is cognitive services, guys? Cognitive services is basically an option for you to detect something not normal. See how we're gonna do this. Go on your Azure services, search for anomaly. You boleh kata anomaly detection lah. Anomaly detection, anomaly detector. That is anomaly detector. Tadi pun awal-awal lagi sudah ada. So if you have selected this, you go create. What are you gonna create? Yeah, sound make it. What are you gonna create? You're gonna create first a subscription. Tadi kan I bagi tahu. All these are available in Azure. So in order for you to be able to create your own anomaly detector, of course you are doing it now. So you are the data scientist, data engineer. You must have a demo subscription, give it a resource group name, assign it to a particular region. This is where I'm talking about where I'm going to keep my server, my application. Let's say I'm taking up somewhere like he is taking up in East US, then give it a name. East US, maybe this is Anomaly Server 1, AI 900 demo. Okay, so once that has been assigned, okay, next, of course, this require money. There you go. You can choose the free tier. Free tier allows you to make 10 calls per second with 20,000 query points, whatever that they call minimum for learning purposes. Of course, all these setting you are happy, validation success, go create. There you go. Now, it has created for us a cognitive service which will help us to do anomaly detection. So I go into that anomaly detection. You can see it is active now. Where is this particular service has been running? What service tier it is, free tier or what? Then you can go and look at the keys and endpoints. This is the key that you use to perform the anomaly detection because this requires a lot of work, resource, computer. This is where they make money. So they're not going to give you an option for you to do query unlimited number of times. Tadala. You can go and click on top the PowerShell, and then from here also you can go in and perform your anomaly detection in your Azure AI. So here what he actually is going to do, we already generated the key earlier. So you do what? Since we already have that, here they are actually basically doing what? Cloning a virtual training set. So this will create this onto the database. This will create a GitHub database. So with this, now you can go and create your software. This is for those of you guys who not, who you want to develop your own software to do detection of anomalies lah. Then you can own you now this one you can create by using programming language. Now if I ask you to teach programming language, this is where you copy the key. You bring in and you put your endpoint key here. Then your location. Once this too has been included, all right. Okay. So basically what we have done is now we have included a key, endpoint key. So this particular code that I'm creating, okay, now which I'm going to execute now, it's to detect anomalies. We'll use the key. So let's say now I'm going to execute this program. Dot slash, that means from here, execute a file called PS1 file called detect anomalies.ps1 file. So when this file is executed, it is going to basically pick up the API key that you have given, and using that key, what you have configured. Based on that, he will perform an analysis. This analysis, anomaly analysis, normally what? True, false, yes, no, 1, 0, because we want to detect something, isn't it? So from here, we can see, all right, in a particular data set that we have given, okay, this data set, what it does, it predicts a value. So you can do a value prediction using Microsoft Azure Studio AI. Okay, so that is how you looked at the Azure Studio itself. Next, after lunch break, when we come back, we go after the break. Sorry, not lunch break. After the session break, we're gonna come back and look at Azure machine learning in detail. See, this is what is very important. Azure machine learning, we will learn a lot of terminology. This terminology might be difficult. It will be difficult because there's a lot of things to learn. So on this first day session, I will share. I have shared with you guys all these links in the WhatsApp group. Please take your time. I will also create the content and share with you over. Later, you guys can analyze it. Okay, so first thing, you want to create a model to predict a sales of ice cream based on historic data that includes daily ice cream sales totals and weather measurement. Okay, if I have this data, which Azure service should you use to perform a kind of analysis or prediction? Boat is chatbot lah. When you say boat is chatbot, so no, that's not the answer. Cognitive service, remember cognitive service? Yes, that is definitely a component where allows you to predict. But then, even though cognitive service allows you to do this, the the Azure service that we are using is basically Azure machine learning. That is the one that gives you all these things. Okay, next question. You are designing an AI application that uses images to detect cracks in a car windshield. So you want to detect crack. So obviously, what do you need? It is an anomaly detection. It is a computer vision, but not actually natural language processing. And nobody going to talk. The car is not going to talk to me. Mainly this one, you want to detect a crack. Computer vision is much better. Why? In this case, why computer vision? Tadi anomaly detection. If it is something visually you can see, ambil a computer vision. Because cracks, how am I going to detect a crack in my car? I cannot ask my driver. I cannot ask my customer. Is there a crack in your windshield? One fella will tell, no, la, that's not a crack, like a small dent. Another fellow will tell, oh, YOLO, YOLO, there's a... But the same object. So human being, their answer a bit unpredictable. So that's why you want to have a computer vision to tell you exactly whether this is a crack serious or not, like that lah. Okay, so we have looked at the fundamental module. Uh, Another question for you to understand, a predictive app. This is where you must understand the 6 AI responsible principles, the principles of responsible AI. Remember, this is very important. Predictive app that provides audio output for visually impact. Okay, you bring in inclusiveness. Some more. Another question. We can also look at many more questions along the way, but that one we will do later. Okay, what we're going to look at after when we come back from our break is computer vision. So I'm going to explain about what is computer vision, guys. So let's look at computer vision, but not now. Later, when we come back from break. We'll take half an hour break. Now, what is this computer vision? Inilah, I ambil gambar. Now, from this gambar, tell me which is a car, which is a bus, which is a cyclist, which is a tree, which is a road, which is a traffic light, which direction is the cars moving. Can you tell all of those things just by one image? Yeah, that is computer vision. All right. So we will look at this in detail. What does a computer do behind this after the break? I'm going to give you guys a morning break. Meanwhile, I will share this link. Please do go and review them. So we have done morning 1 hour at this session now. After this first hour is all about revision time. I let you to do your own revision. And I will continue back the session in Teams at 12 o'clock. Don't worry, guys. The event is recorded. As and when the event is finished recording, I will share the link back. So I hope that you guys will be from time to time, will also log in into the session. So we all can get along onto the content. I know some of you guys might be in your class, some of you guys might be in another place. So don't worry, guys. We're going to catch up on the module together as well. So I'm going to release you guys now at 11 o'clock for a morning break. We will continue at 12 o'clock. I know the session is going to be a little odd. That's because we are making it with sufficient timing for everyone to do revision as well. So please go and do revision. I'm stopping the recording now. Now this recording will be shared